You can explain about the gag order, sir?
Well, the gag order was not something we asked for, so I think you will have to ask the lawyers for the accused to ask for it. I mean, as you know, we objected to the gag order. We don't know how wide and the scope of the gag order. We are not sure the court has jurisdiction to order the gag. We were taken by surprise. So that's it's really for them to sort it out, and I think they finally will prepare a piece of paper which will set out the extent of the gag order, and the gag order will operate until the 8th of August. So that means just over a month, and then we will again object to it then.
What are the grounds
How much
that?
paid by for the release on bail? How much paid for the release on bail?
The bail is 1 million. 1 million.
Ringgit.
1 million ringgit. Yes.
Is the prosecution happy that the trial dates are set next year?
No, I know it's not fixed. No, that's not fixed. We are going to come back for case management on the 8th of August. Our position is this is the first day in court, so it's premature to fix a trial date. And my colleagues tell me that it's never done in a criminal prosecution. First day when you present the charge.
How long will this case be?
Oh, we don't know. Premature.
What are the grounds?
We have to go step by step. This is the first step in the process, which is filing of the charges.
Mr. Tommy, at the moment they have 4 charges against Datuk Najib.
That's right.
Will there be any more charges against him in the future?
Well, we can't comment on that because it depends on when the next IP comes and whatever. We can't comment on that.
So,
we can't foreclose. This is as things stand today.
Okay, but there are still IPs coming in.
Yes, that's what MACC promises. This is arising from the first MACC IP which was given to my office 3 weeks ago. I issued a press release 3 weeks ago, and this is the fruits of that investigation on our part, and then the charges arise out of the first IP. And then no doubt there will be more IPs. But I think you have to ask MACC that, because as you know, they do the investigation and we do the prosecution. The lines are pretty clearly demarcated.
There was a comment.
Lawyer Shafi asked you to be removed from the case. What's your comment on that?
Let's wait for the application. He says there is an application.
For Najib Razak after this?
Sorry?
Is there going to be any further charges for Najib Razak?
That's just asked.
Sorry, supporters say the case is political persecution. What's your comment? What's your response on that?
Well, that's not our position. I mean, we as far as we are concerned, it was the same. I'm backed by a very strong DPP's office. The Attorney General's Chambers is the largest law office in the country. They've had a distinguished history of prosecution, more than 100 years. And I've got 11 members of the team working with me. And as far as we are concerned, we just look at it from a criminal law perspective. It doesn't matter who the personality is. It is just criminal law.
Many supporters
The Bar Council said that the 1MPB task force has no legal standing to arrest Najib yesterday. Does the action of this nature provide Najib clear proof of support of malicious prosecution?
Well, again, we are not responsible for the arrest last night. Again, the system works on this basis. The system which has been there for probably since Merdeka is that investigation agencies like the MACC, the police, there are quite a few investigation agencies, and I think in this case it is the MACC. They investigate, they arrest, and whatever. Our role begins in court this morning, so we are not responsible for arresting, keeping him in custody, or bringing him to court. So I've got no comments insofar as the task force is concerned. You'll have to ask the task force. But our understanding is that it's MACC's role, not our role.
Suppose you criticize there is not enough proof.
Sorry?
Suppose you criticize there is not enough proof for the guilty of the Najib, and some side the case innocent. So what's your comment on this?
Well, obviously, I mean that's why we have a trial. I mean, once he's absolutely entitled, like any other accused, to plead not guilty and claim trial, which is what he did. The burden is on us. We are the prosecution, but we will only establish that at trial.
Mr. Tommy, go.
Are you going to apply to take the proceeding judge as he is speaking for UMNO Pahang?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I've never heard of that.
Mr. Tommy, so going back.
Are you going to apply to change the proceeding, to take the proceeding judge as he is speaking for UMNO Pahang?
Sorry, I'm discovering that for the first time. Sorry.
Mr. Tommy, going back to the gag order, on what grounds did the judge make the approval for
He didn't
the...
give. I don't think he gave grounds. I don't think he gave grounds.
He did not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think insofar as the gag order is concerned, we are the wrong persons to ask. You've got to ask the persons who asked
Okay.
for the gag order,
Okay.
which is the other side, why they asked.
Okay.
Our position is we are totally against it, in principle, jurisdictionally, constitutionally, because there is the right of free speech.
Yes.
All of you have free speech. So we are against it. So, and we will oppose it on the 8th of August.
Will Najib come back to home after the debate?
Okay, you're asking too many questions. Others, wait your turn. Sorry?
How do you respond to the scene pandemonium that just unfolded downstairs?
A little surprised. Well, I think with hindsight, we should have come out here and spoken to you folks here, because that would have been most convenient. But we went down, and the rest is history, as they say. But hopefully it's recorded for posterity. It's recorded for posterity. It's probably online. Everybody can make their own mind up. But it was sad because we couldn't answer questions. Okay, we are quite happy to answer questions, but it must be in a civilized fashion. That's all we ask. We're happy to answer.
One question.
Yeah, sure.
Apart from Datuk Najib, is there anybody will be charged in relation to SRC or 1MDB after this?
Oh, SRC, I don't know. It's a bit too early. But 1MDB is certainly down the road, because this whole thing is for 1MDB. So you could expect the MACC to investigate 1MDB. And can I just say, let me state the obvious. When we use the word 1MDB, when everybody uses the word 1MDB, it's a shorthand statement to describe what happened over 4 or 5 years. So there were discrete, separate transactions over a 4 or 5 year period, which is in the public domain, which the DOJ has detailed. So there are different transactions, different episodes over a long period of time, and I would expect MACC to look at it that way, and then when they complete, come and give it to us.
Okay.
Can the media still report on this
Just one
case?
second.
Can the media still report on this case while the interim gag order is...
No, I think the interim is only SRC. And this, isn't it? SRC and this charge. So what you should do is, you should take the 4 charges. I guess all of you have the 4 charges? It's been
Yes.
circulated? So you read the 4 charges, go and consult good lawyers, and let them tell you your rights. But it's limited to SRC.
You report in this particular case.
Yeah, this morning's the gag order.
So does it mean the media can't report on it? Or...
No, limited to SRC. SRC.
But the case you can still report. The gag order was not reported.
Yes. About today's proceedings, of course you can report. Of course you can report.
Because we are confused about the gag order and such, so that's why so we are not sure whether the gag
No. I assure you, you can report what happened today. I assume some of you were in the courtroom.
yeah, some of us.
Some of us, yeah.
Yes, so you can report what happened in the courtroom, because that's actually what happened. You heard, you saw. That's absolutely correct. Not on the merits of
The merits is what constitutes the merits? When you say
guilty,
sorry,
as though he is guilty.
okay. meaning all the bags, the signature of the items, can it still be mentioned?
That's not SRC.
Okay.
So you will, unfortunately, you all will have to read the SRC charges, the 4 charges today, and then you may have to be prudent. You may want to take independent legal advice, and then do what you need to do. Okay. And then telephone and then ask the accused and their lawyers more about it, because they are the authors of that. It's not us.
Are you confident when the independent lawyer is Shafi'i, lawyer Shafi'i? Are you still confident prosecute successfully?
No problem. The bar, there are 18,000 members of the bar, and it's for the accused to choose. We got no problem. It's the choice of the accused.
Will Najib come back home after the ban?
This was a criticism from your former MA member, which criticized the task force.
Can we allow the lady to ask? A bit louder,
Which criticized the task force in issuing statement about his arrest.
Yeah, somebody
yesterday.
asked one. Somebody already asked.
So
what about it?
It seems like they are observing your powers, because arresting whatsoever and issuing statements about arrest should be the investigation agencies, like just now you pointed out. But then the party now issuing the statement is a task force, and the task force job is supposed to recover whatever that was lost. So basically they are asking. Wait.
Okay. When you're ready, you go to the second half of the question.
Mr. Thomas, would you say you have a watertight case against Najib?
Well, I think what we would say, obviously, that is something that we talked about for 3 weeks. Because as I said, the time started running when the IP papers came to us. So we've had 3 weeks. We've had 12 of us, and we've got a few backroom people. Obviously, we've reached a conclusion that we have a strong prima facie case. That will be using the strict legal language. We have a strong prima facie case, which we intend to prove at the trial. We accept that the burden is on us. We accept that he is innocent until proven guilty. And you saw we were very generous on bail. We did not object to bail as a matter of principle. There was disagreement on the quantum of bail, but once the court fixed 1 million, we did not object to it being paid over 2 periods, 2 days. So we are very fair. I think if you measure us by any standard, we've been very fair. But we are confident of a strong case which we will demonstrate and establish at trial. Anything else?
Back to the gag order. What happened is the minister comment on the case on the SRC.
No, I got no more.
Reported the case.
I got no more answers on the gag order. I'm the wrong person to ask. I've already said it 5 times. Please ask somebody else on the gag order. I am not the author of the gag order. I am opposed to the gag order. My team is opposed to the gag order. So it's not fair to ask us, because you know I don't want it. And we will be applying to set it aside in a month's time. So that's.
Sir, have you determined the number of witnesses being called?
No, too early.
So what's your comment about the ruckus downstairs heckling you? What's your comment on that?
A little surprised. I expected questions from the press, so I didn't expect that. So because I saw all of you here, and I thought you all will come down. Downstairs. Sorry? Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think we were a bit surprised it took so long. We thought it would be shorter. But never mind, that's litigation. Anybody who does litigation will know you can never plan. Court work has a dynamism of its own. So you've just got to adjust. So we've adjusted, no problem.
Mr. Tommy, the defense raised questions about getting a fair trial. Could you assure the government to be able to assure that this client or this accused will get a fair trial?
Why is there a question about not being a fair trial? So I'm not going to answer that. As far as we are concerned, we are fair. You saw our positions this morning. You saw our public positions this morning. I just talked about bail and all that. So why should they suspect we're not making a fair trial? I question the premise of that question. Yeah, okay, should be enough. Oh yeah, are you ready?
Okay,
But if it's on the gag order.
no, it's not on the gag order, but it's on the task force because your former members questioned that is the task force legally empowered to order the arrest of his arrest, and is the task force legally empowered to charge him based on their action in issuing the statement about his arrest yesterday?
I think the second part of it is very clear. Only the Attorney General can charge. That's clear. Only the Attorney General can charge, which is why we are all here. The first part of the question, you've got to ask the investigation agency about that. I am not going to intrude in that area. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.